Hey friends, it's Just the Gems. I'm Brandon. I'm back with more video games that I want to talk to you about. So shall we talk about them? Let's. Long gone are the days when I would come in here with a stack of games from the floor to the top of my head, and that's for the best. I'll be honest with you. There was a period of time near the beginning of this channel where I was spending, I don't even want to say. There's a lot of reasons why I don't want to say. It's too much. It's bad. This all happened. All this stuff, and I can't even see all of it, but all this stuff, it all happened, like, relatively quickly. Like, it shouldn't happen so quickly. I've had video games off and on my whole life, but I didn't keep them, so, I recollected. It was bad. Point is, it was bad. So, I feel like I've done a lot better at slowing down and just getting the games that I'm really interested in. I haven't graduated to the level of only buying the games that I'm going to play right now, because I still have a lot of that FOMO that I'm going to pass on a game and then it's going to become hard to find, and then I'll want to play it someday and it's going to be $300. And I have bought $300 games. We might even talk about one today. But, I don't want to make that a habit. So, anyway. So I've got a few games here. Just one, actually. One game that I picked up from the Midwest Gaming Classic. And I don't know if I've talked a lot about the Midwest Gaming Classic, but it is my local classic gaming convention. I've gone every year pretty much, right? Since I discovered it was a thing, which was like 2019, 2018, pre the Big Sick, but 2018 or 19. So I've been essentially going every year, and I just love it. It's so much fun. Go up there. Some years I've only been able to go up for a day. Some years I've gone up for overnight. And next year I'm planning on going and doing the whole weekend. I've never done 2 nights. I'm gonna just do it. I'm in it now. But yeah, the Midwest Gaming Classic is great. If you've never been to, if you're in the area and you've never been to the Midwest Gaming Classic, highly recommend you check it out. It's a lot of fun. Panels, classic games, vendors, lots of cool stuff. You will not have enough time if you're there for the whole weekend. There's too much to see and do. It's really, 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 really cool. So highly recommend it. But if you've never been to a retro gaming convention, a classic gaming convention at all, and you have one near you, you need to go. Like if you're watching this dumb, like you're probably the target market for one of these conventions, and you should just go and do it. So check out Midwest Gaming Classic or your local gaming convention. Okay, let's talk about some video games. First up, I want to mention the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth of it all, because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is one of the best video games I've ever played in my life, and that's big. I don't throw that around. Maybe it seems like it because I've had 2 of these. One of the best games I've ever played in my life since I started this channel. Got Harvestella and then this. But please believe me when I say that I love this game so much. I just love it so much. It really fulfilled the promise of Final Fantasy VII in my mind, and I know the story's not complete, and they could still whiff it on the 3rd entry. Of course they could. They could blow it all, but I'm hoping they don't, because their trajectory's been upward. So I'm confident. But it is clearly, to me, the work of a team of people who have sat with this story for over 2 decades, right? Like, they have thought about Kazushige Nojima in particular, the writer. He has so thoroughly thought about this world now, after having written the original game and Advent Children and multiple novels and short stories, all taking place in the world, and then coming back to write the remake. Like, he's spent a lot of time in this world, so he's very comfortable in this world now. And it shows. Like, they've thought of everything. Like, they've filled in any gap that you might think was there. Not in a way that removes mystery, but honestly in a way that creates better mystery. And it's weird that I'm talking about a pickup as a game that I've already played. Like, I finished it. And I did a review on this channel somewhere where I compared it to Final Fantasy 16, which, is a thing. But yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is a great game too, but I just love this one so much. Just love it so much. Okay, we need to move on. Oh, I guess we'll stay on the Final Fantasy VII train for a minute. I picked this up at the recommendation of some folks in my Patreon. They mentioned this Etsy seller who makes these just gorgeous Steelbook cases. And my gosh, I love a good Steelbook. And I had ordered a Steelbook with my copy of Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion for the PS5 from Best Buy. It was supposed to be a free bonus for pre-ordering from Best Buy. And they did not deliver it. And I did not receive it. And when I asked them, could I please have it? Because I ordered it. They said, we're sorry. We don't have any more. You can't have it. So I was heartbroken. But I will post a link to this Etsy store in the description, so you can check it out. Highly recommend it. Very cool. If you like Steelbooks, I mean, they're not cheap. We're talking $35-$40 like for a case. But like, what do we got here? We got Silent Hope. And this is the day one edition. I definitely did not buy this on day one, though. I bought this on, I don't know, day 87 or something. Like, it's been out for a while. And I don't know a ton about it. I know that it features silent protagonists. But I want to be clear about something. I've spoken on this channel at length and with some degree of intensity about how much I dislike silent protagonists. My understanding of the story of Silent Hope is that the characters not being able to speak is part of the story. Like, they are mute. Like, they're not... we're not pretending that we're speaking for them. I could be wrong, but this is my understanding of the story, is they can't speak. It's called Silent Hope. It makes sense, thematically. So, yes. So that doesn't bother me. That's fine. If it's worked into the story that a character can't speak, cool. I got no problem with that. It's when you're assuming that I'm putting words in the character's mouth. I don't like that. Don't do that. Don't assume that I'm putting words in their mouth. So yeah, this is the, I don't know, it's a big boy, and I got it for pretty cheap. I'm guessing they made too many of these. I don't know if they thought this was going to sell better, and it didn't. I don't know. It's a dungeon crawler. It's localized by Xseed, and I've liked a lot of Xseed's work, so we'll see. Has a art book, grammar, and original soundtrack CD. I don't know who the soundtrack is by. Is it somebody famous? I could look it up. Not gonna, though. Hope it's by somebody famous. All right, what else we got here? We have... I'll peel this sticker off. Nope, not gonna peel the sticker off. It's not one of those that comes off nice. All right, we've got Wild Arms XF for the PlayStation Portable. Get caught in the crossfire. That's the slogan for the popular board game. It's not a board game. Game where you shoot your friend. Crossfire. From the 90s? You remember Crossfire. You'll get caught up in the crossfire. I guess enough time has passed that we can kind of let that one go. That catchphrase is open to anyone. But this appears to be a strategy role-playing game set in the Wild Arms universe. I don't know anything about the Wild Arms universe. I have almost all of the games now, though. I've got 1 through 5. I need the remake of 1 that they did on PS2. Alter Code F, I think it's called. And then I think I have all the Wild Arms games. So that's cool. They're doing a spiritual successor to Wild Arms called Armed Fantasia or something? Fantasy Arms? Armed Fantasia, I think. I think I backed that. Pretty sure I did. Because that looks pretty cool. So at some point, I should probably play the Wild Arms games. What's your favorite Wild Arms game if you've played them? Does it matter if I play them in order? Like, I probably will. I don't know. Should I play Wild Arms? Yes or no? And which one should I focus on? Which one's the best? All right, what else we got? We have Unicorn Overlord. This is a game about unicorns and about overbearing leaders who rule them. I don't know. I haven't played it, guys. It's still sealed. Hear that? A little ASMR for you. Yeah, this is from Vanillaware, so it's got that really cool Vanillaware style. It doesn't look gross like some Vanillaware games do. I'm sorry, I'm sure some people don't think it's gross and are offended that I said that, but they do weird things to some characters' human bodies. Make them look very strange. But these look like pretty normal people. I like that. Fallen Prince shall rise again. ring of legend lighting his path. He's got a glow ring like the Green Lantern. That's cool. So yeah, this looks cool. It's another strategy game. I think this is the last. No, this isn't the last of the strategy games. I mentioned at some point on this channel that I'm trying to get into more strategy games, and I guess step one of that, getting into more strategy games, is just buying a whole bunch of strategy games. I haven't played any yet, but I'm buying a lot of them. So, Unicorn Overlord in the collection. Happy to have it. What's this? Inescapable. No rules, no rescue. Fight for your life, it says. Now, I've heard that this is not what it seems to be, and I think some people were disappointed by that. I think it is kind of marketed as like a Danganronpa sort of game, where like people are dying and it's super twisted and terrifying. And I don't think it is like that. I think it's more of a drama. And that's fine. That's okay. Like, I know that going into it, so I don't have the expectation that it's a Danganronpa game. I think if I went into it expecting a Danganronpa and I didn't get a Danganronpa, I'd be Dangan sad. That's not a joke. Don't leave that in. Cut that out. You have the power, Brandon. I'm telling you now, editor Brandon, you're going to think, oh, it'll be funny, self-deprecating to leave this in. And so people can see how dumb your jokes are sometimes. Don't leave it in. I'm telling you. Don't do it. If you do it, you're an idiot. What do I got next? Oh, here. Okay, I just got this in the mail the other day. Finally. It was on back order forever. For months, literally months, it's been on back order. Saint Maker. This is a visual novel, a horror visual novel. I know basically nothing about it, but I know two things. I like horror as a genre, and I want to support any decent looking visual novel that has English voice acting. And now I want to put this to you, the audience. Do you, as an audience, know any particularly good visual novels that have an English dub? An English dub is very important to me. I want to say that it's starting to become a thing. Like, typically you won't find English voice acting in a visual novel. I feel like we're maybe starting to see a few visual novels come out based on Japanese games coming out in English with English voice acting. That is so important to me because, as I've said before on this channel and other places, to me, a localization of a game involves giving the player in English, in this case, me, the same experience or as close to the same experience as the player in Japanese had. So if the Japanese player who speaks Japanese is sitting down to play a visual novel and they're reading Japanese text and the character on the screen is speaking that text in Japanese, then for me to feel like I have a fully localized game in my hands, I need an English actor to be reading the English text that's on the screen for me, the English speaker. So I want to support any good visual novel that has an English dub. So if you know of any visual novels that have a good English dub, I would love to hear about it. I know that there was one in the Scientific Semicolon series. Not Steins Gate, but one of those like adjacent games. I have it, and it has an English dub. And I bought it specifically because it had an English dub. I'm going to get to it eventually, but like, I bought it day one because I was like, do this, do more of this. I will support you. I will shout out your game. This is a JRPG channel, so I don't focus on visual novels, but I will make an exception. I will shout out your game if you've got good English voice acting in your game. It's so important. It's so important. All right, I don't want to make this be a 30, 40 minute pickups video. We've only got one game left. I've been going briskly. I've been staying on task. Haven't been going off on tangents. So I think I deserve a reward for that. I don't know if it's going to be a cookie or if I'm going to have a beer after this and play a video game. That's probably what I'm going to do. So last game, this is the one that I picked up at the Midwest Gaming Classic. And normally when I go to the Midwest Gaming Classic, I spend a lot of money and I come home with piles of things. And I had that option again this year. There was a ton of stuff there. I could have come back with piles and piles of things. Instead, I decided to do something I never do, which is just buy one thing, but one really expensive thing. So I spent all the money I would have spent, but just on one thing. And I know some people are going to be very excited to see this. Tony, this one's for you. You know who you are. This is Shining Force 3, okay? This is the big boy, Shining Force 3 on the Sega Saturn, okay? The Shining series returns. Now, I understand we didn't get the full Shining Force 3 because there were 2 other scenarios that came out on subsequent releases in Japan. And I know you can get fan localizations of those games, and at some point maybe I will. But I really, really wanted to have Shining Force 3 on the Saturn. I'm trying to collect the good Saturn JRPGs, and Shining Force is a great tactical series. I've talked about Shining Force 1 and 2 before, and huge fan. So really wanted to have this one, and I had just been talking about Shining Force with my brother, and I was just at the convention, so I hadn't even seen this yet. But I had been talking about, like, just texting with my brother about Shining Force, and then I was like, when I saw, I was like, I just gotta get it. I just gotta get Shining Force 3. So Shining Force 3 is joining my collection. It was a lot of money. I didn't even haggle either because I was like in a rush. I needed to get out of there. I didn't even haggle. I should have haggled a little bit. I'm sure I could have got it for a little bit cheaper, but you know, I know it's an expensive game. Like, I'm not going to go in there and try to lowball them. Like, it's a pricey game and it's worth it. It's not only is it, you know, a good game, but it's just a Saturn game, and Saturn games are crazy. That's just the way it is. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think these pickups are okay? It's a little bit of an eclectic mix. Little strategy RPG heavy. That's, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, some visual novels in here even. Like, visual novels and strategy. Like, what's happening to me? This was not me 5 years ago. None of this would have been me 5 years ago. Shining Force maybe, but the rest of it, no way. Absolutely not. So, I don't know. What do you think? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have picked up any of these and you recommend them, I want to hear about it. I want to know. I need people to tell me what to do because trying to make decisions on my own is too hard. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would you consider giving it a like? If you hated it, but you're still here, good on you. You've earned that thumbs down. Click that. Look at my smug face and be like, this one's for you, jerk. Do it. And if you're not subscribed and you like this, whatever it is that I do, if you do, like, hey, I'd love to meet you. You seem like you'd be cool. But if you wouldn't mind subscribing, if you're not already subscribed, I would really appreciate it. And like I mentioned earlier, I have a Patreon. We hang out in Discord, and it's fun. If you want to join us, the Patreon is somewhere in this region of the screen. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a great week. And until next time, bye. I gotta stop doing these after dinner. I'm just like an old man. Got an old man's guts.